Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Xa Talk Show. We are going to do miscellaneous programming language design issues on string and Unicode. And if you are watching this offline, play at speed 2. If you are here, say hi in the comments, okay? So we're gonna talk about Unicode and programming language design involving strings. For example, some programming language, their string is bytes. Some of them are code units. Some of them are Unicode characters, also known as code point. So very interesting issues. So first of all, let me introduce my keyboard. So this is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, UHK80. This is Nulea Trackball, fantastic, my favorite mouse, China cheapo. And this is Logitech, classic Logitech G502. Okay, let's go to my my screen. So search for Xali keyboard blog. You'll find my keyboard review. So there it is, Ultimate Hacking Keyboard 80 on my website, xali.info, HTTP no S. And there's a YouTube video review, unboxing, and a review. Each one is 1 hour. And you can see on my keyboard blog, there is huge amount of ergonomic keyboards. Each one has a video review. Glove 80, Kinesis 360, Kinesis Advantage 2. Each one of these I've been using for almost 3 years. So Kinesis Advantage 2 I've been using for 5 years, every day on live stream. Glove 80 in past 3 years, every day. Kinesis 360 I haven't used regularly, but there's a review I did 1 hour long. And also Xbox Night, fantastic. I've been used for several months, I think live, or a year. So these are fantastic keyboard reviews. Okay, just search for Xali keyboard. You'll find my website, Xali Keyboard Guide. Okay, there are like 1,000 articles. And for the mouse, you go down, trackball. So here are the best trackballs. Trackballs are better than mouse most of the time. Excuse me, I got a cold over Christmas days. Then I smoked too much, so I'm quitting smoking. Now, so anyway, back to trackball. So these are the best trackballs, and the one I'm currently using is this one, Nulea M505. China cheapo, one of the China cheapo. Since like 10 years ago, China keyboards and mouse and trackballs, they are taking over. They are in general, for example, these are the best trackballs, okay? Nulea, this is another one from Nulea, okay? So if you buy Logitech or other well-known brands, for example, this Kensington Expert or the Slim Blade, also from Kensington, they are like $100 or $90. Okay, or the Japanese brand Elecom. I forgot how much is Elecom, but anyway. But if you buy the Chinese ones, usually like they don't have a brand name. Like the brand name changes. Like there are several exactly the same thing but different brands. Okay, so anyway, Nulea, I call them China cheapo. They are half the price of the comparable brand name ones, half the price, and they are good enough, in fact. So China cheapo, they've been taking over not just on trackball, but keyboards. For example, keyboards, lots of these Apple maker that's from China, I believe, or Taiwan. Keymove is from China. Apple Maker. Nim Plum is from China. HHKB Happy Hacking Keyboard, that's from Japan. That's a classic best one. Now Keytron is a USA brand. Bloody is from Taiwan or China, I forgot which. So anyway, so that's digression into keyboard and mouse. So, but let's go back to our main topic. Okay, the main topic I want to talk about is about programming language and Unicode. Okay, so close that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Now, am I alive? Yes. So if you are here, say hi. Okay, I got 6 people watching. So we're gonna talk about Unicode. So it's all programming stuff. Now, when I every half an hour, my alarm clock beeps. Hold on a second. So it's a good thing to set your alarm clock to beep every 30 minutes because every 30 minutes you should get up and walk. If you are a heavy computer coder like me, okay? Doesn't matter what you do, every 30 minutes, just get up for 1 minute, just go to the bathroom, get your coffee, whatever. Okay, so if you are younger, you can set it to 1 hour, but you need to get up. So every time, every hour or two, I get up and walk around with my iPad. So I take notes. So these are the changes I need to do. So I take screenshots and notes. Okay. Oh, I forgot to introduce my my tablet. You see, this is fantastic device. Okay, tablet. You can use it as a mouse, and you can see if you want to know about tablet, there is also here. So my keyboard blog, Char keyboard blog, you go down, there's a trackball mouse, pen input, so all kind of pen input devices. The one I have is this one, Huiyang H640P. Okay, it works great, fantastic. Okay, so I take notes, so I'm just gonna work on my notes. Let me tell you, as I work on them, you will learn about Unicode. You will learn about Unicode, what is code point, what is UTF-8 encoding, what is UTF-16 encoding, what are code unit. Fairly complex, okay? So let's see, let's go to the beginning summary. So what I want to do here, Julia, and okay, so let's skip that for now. This is very interesting, so let me tell you about this. So let's JavaScript, okay? You can see in JavaScript. So these are all my programming articles about JavaScript, UTF-8. So encoding, you can learn. If you are impatient, don't watch this video. Just learn everything. Just search for Xali Unicode. So let's begin. Let me show you this Xali Unicode search. Xar Unicode search. You'll find my website, okay? That one. Now you go there and you can type F-I-R-E. As you type, the character shows up like F-I-R-E. So these are all Unicodes whose name contains the word fire. And you can make it show the character name. You see, this is trigram for fire. That's one of the China trigram. Bagua or Taiji, kind of the yin-yang symbols in Chinese. And this is Chinese character radical for fire. And this is Chinese character for fire and Chinese character for fire in parentheses. Usually that's used by Japan. Japanese also use Chinese characters. So you can see then there's a fire character Chinese in a circle. That's usually used in Japan. Then you got fireworks, you got hexagram. So before you have trigram, then now you have hexagram. Hexagram is interesting. So you got 6 bars. Each bar can either be a whole line or broken into 2 lines or sometimes 3. So you got combinatorial issue, okay? So anyway, these are all characters. Then there's a fire emoji. There's a fire engine truck. There is oncoming fire engine. There's alchemy symbol for fire. Oh, that's interesting. The firecracker, and fire extinguisher. Okay, so Unicode names, each character has a name. Unicode is a standard for all the words, symbols, and characters for all human languages. You can, for example, the most well-known today is emoji, starting from past 15 years, but it contains all characters, the writing symbols of all human history, including dead languages. Okay, so for example, we're looking at Arabic writing system, which is used in Arabic languages and also Persian, and and also it was used for Spanish. Very interesting. Okay, so then you got, of course, you got Chinese characters. Then you also got, let me show you some interesting ones. Okay, there's a hieroglyph from Egypt. Okay, so very interesting. And one thing I want to show, I talk about this many times, they have like characters for breasts, tits, and they also have characters for penis, but Microsoft censored it. They don't provide a font, but it shows if you are using a Mac, and I'm not sure about Google's font, whether they censor these characters. Okay, so you can see a picture of it if you scroll down. So Egyptian characters, they are very interesting. If you go all the way down, you can see a picture of those censored characters there. You see penises. Okay, so you got Egyptian, then you got, of course, you got lots of Egyptians, Tamil, which is language used in South Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, kind of like that, and also in India, Sri Lanka. Very interesting, Unicode. Okay, so all entire human animals writing system symbols, including historical ones, and you also got very interesting ones, such as, for example, let me show you the earliest one. So ancient ones. So you got hieroglyph from Egypt. Then you got rune from about year 500 to year 1500. So Western white men are obsessed with this rune character. You often see it, nerds, on their keyboard keycaps. You can buy actually rune keycaps. Do I have a photo of it? Let's see here. So, so this is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard 60. I also have a review, and I believe I live streamed with it for several months or maybe a year. I forgot. For actually 5 or 7 years, because I use it as a key marker keypad. Okay, so that's Ultimate Hacking 60. So you see, they put rune characters keycaps on it because this is the rune characters are associated with a history of Western Europe, kind of like the white men, German people, and United Kingdom English people. It's part of their history. Run characters, okay? Because I didn't know before, because I thought, where are they? I live in USA, so mostly I'm in contact with white men, my coworkers or whatever. I'm in California, but so often I see, where are they? Like often talk about run or show. For example, another interesting thing we're gonna talk about today. For example, Golang. So you look at my Go language tutorial, which is one of the best programming language, okay? don't use C, don't use C++. Now, if you are a young person, if you are studying programming languages, don't do C, C++. Don't even learn them if you are beginning your career, okay? Pick something and stick. So because you're gonna move on, you're gonna in the next 10, 20 years, okay? Don't follow, whatever on 4chan, those idiots saying that you gotta use, like the industrial standard, like the most common game programming, C++ or C for Linux kernel, whatever. Don't do that. Learn Golang. Okay, Golang is far better for and also Golang is very popular, extremely popular. In fact, like basically as popular as C, C++ in the same category of popularity. Okay, in fact, I think it's even more popular than Rust. Rust is another very fashionable today. So Golang, you can see Golang actually they have a character type. So you go to string. So character type but they don't call it a character type. They call it run. You see, it's funny. The Golang people, Rob Pike and others, most famously known as created by Rob Pike. Actually, there are 2 or 3 guys who co-created it, but Rob Pike is one of the most famous character who also created UTF-8, the encoding system, UTF-8. Okay, we're gonna talk about today. So Go language, they have a character type, but they don't call it character type. They just call it run. Okay, very funny. So what is a run? Run. It's just a Unicode character type character. Okay, but they call it run. So that's so that's why I'm saying that this, the white people, so-called, the phrase is very popular in USA since about 2015, the rise of the social justice warrior movement. They talk about white men all the time. So the white man, basically, technically, it means, took me a long time to actually learn. It doesn't mean white people with white skin, okay, like the Russian or the Belarus or the Ukraine, they are the whitest white, okay? The white girls, they are the most beautiful. But when you say white men, that actually not them, okay? Very interesting. Took me, I learned it the hard way. So, white men, it's kind of usually, actually the core of the phrase white man actually means Germanic people. German people from Germany and UK, because German people moved to UK back then, 500, 1,000 years ago. So they are both Germanic, according to their bloodline, to their DNA. So as far as I personally understand, those are the white men, okay? British people, English people, and the Germanic people, which, by the way, are the most white people in USA, because their ancestry, if you you can look at the USA census, by the USA government, the white people, or white-skinned people, their ancestry in USA are mostly from Germany or the England. Okay, so the white man today is like the USA. So anyway, so I was talking about the run. So that's kind of part of the white man history. So you can also see that by, for example, there is this very popular novel loved by nerds, the Tolkien. Okay, Tolkien, the trilogy, the Two Towers, the Ring. The Ring, one ring to rule them all. Okay, I actually never liked it. That movie, I really wanted to like it because that's, the nerds will talk about it. For example, let me give you 2 characters, very famous characters in programming industry who loves the Tolkien trilogy. One of them is Eric Raymond, okay? E-R-I-C-K, E-R-I-C or E-R-I-C, okay? Eric S. Raymond, very famous guy. He wrote the Bazaar and the Cathedral. You know, he's one of the guy who co-founded open source. Okay, he's so well known. You know, he pushes for Unix philosophy. He wrote several books and pushes for open source and so on. Okay, he's kind of like very questionable person, a very questionable man, in my opinion. But he's a great coder. Okay, and so he's one of the he loves the run the. So he loves the that trilogy Tolkien. Okay, so let me type it out since I'm starting to like ramble over. Okay, we haven't talked about Unicode yet. So Tolkien, you know, the Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, he is a linguist as well. So Lord of the Rings, people, you know, these people love it. So when I was younger, like 20, 30 years ago, I really tried to read it. I didn't really like it. Okay, and also there's a movie, you know, about this. But however, by the way, I love Tolkien. But I love a similar long novel that's called Game of the Thrones. Okay, so actually, so let me just show you. Let me show you my webpage. Okay, so we talked about Golang, and we talked about, let's go to search. Actually, you can search there. Okay, so actually, sorry, Game of the Throne. Throne. That's King's Chair. Do I have it? Does it find my page? No, it doesn't, because it's yeah. So let's not show it. Okay, King of the Throne. Okay, so Game of the Thrones. Oh, I made it. Forgot. Game of the Thrones. Okay, not King. So what guys you are saying? Do Unicode support man languages like Klingon? No, unfortunately, Klingon is another so-called constructed language or artificial language, but a lot of nerds love. But Unicode do not have special characters for Klingon. That's one of the kind of people complain, but it's not there. But however, people has made font for Klingon that you can download that maps to the special use area of Unicode. Okay, so you can you search it, you'll find it. Okay, now Xadi Game of Life, there Game of Thrones. Okay, I wrote some blogs about it. I love Game of Thrones. Okay, I never watched the TV show, you know, because I don't have money to, but I watched all the clips, like hundreds of clips of Game of Thrones, and also the fan website. So fan website, usually they have detail, like the story, which character, you know, what he did, the full story of the series and maps of the places, you know, different worlds, different islands, different kingdoms, you know. Game of Thrones. I love this novel, this show, and also the TV program is fantastic. So Game of Thrones, they have dragons, they have kind of these monsters, they have do they have dwarfs? Well, this guy is a dwarf, okay, but but I was thinking about the dwarf race. But anyway, they have dragons, they have kings, they have swords fights, they have knights, they have queens, they have, you know, incest, they have, you know, and lots of fights, knights, and sorcerers, and this kind of monster, the ice dragon, you know, the kind of monster race. And fairy tales and giants. They have giants. They have, this is a sorcerer, a great story. Okay, they got dragons. They got this queen and mythical powers. You know, she can, you know, stand in fire. So fantastic story. Okay, and swords fight. Love it. Now, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay, so let's look at some movie stuff. Lord of the Rings. Okay, so let's look at images. So you also got monsters and dwarf race and elves race and this ring, the magical powers and that. But I don't like it. I find it. I don't like it. This dwarf. I mean, this kind of like a cute village character. What's their name? I forgot. It turns me off. Okay, and especially the movie, the guy, this guy, I look at him, this bunch of like, he got some brothers or friends, like idiots. And this ring, idiotic ring. And you got this ring, the monster that, what's the name, grabbing the ring. That's like ugly, fucking offensive. And then you got this like sorcerer, like two sorcerers fighting each other. One of them, the good guys, is called the good guys with the daft something. Wait, so you guys help me. Okay, what's the good sorcerer's name? And then you got this elf race, you got dwarf race, then you got the ugly monster race. You Gandalf, yeah, Gandalf is the good sorcerer on the good side. Okay, Gandalf, I think. So and that's like a stereotypical story, like fucking boring, fucking idiots. Okay, I don't like this. And the eyes of the Sauron, that fucking moron. You see, both of them are like like kind of fantasy stories. But I truly love the Game of Thrones. But this Lord of the Rings, I find myself I don't like it at all. Then you got this, of course, you got this images game of the Lord of the Rings. Okay, oh, do they have a new movie in theaters 2026? So look at the images. Okay, so you got this, then you got this idiotic. Okay, I don't like it at all. So that's interesting. So even though both of them are like about like fantasy kind of genre. Okay, so I digressed over. We can't finish this talk. It'll take another 1 hour. Okay, so let me go back to like the programming and Unicode stuff. Okay, are we done about? Yeah. So I was so go back to Unicode. So I was like introducing to you guys some of the Unicode characters. Okay, so we talked about run, which is 1,000 years ago. But Phoenician, this is like the earliest alphabet. This Phoenician from 3,000 years ago is where the English alphabet came from. So English back to Latin, and Latin back to Greek, and Greek back to Phoenician. Okay, so that's this character set in Unicode. Okay, then you got cuneiform. This is even earlier, but this is not like the origin source of English alphabet. This is like 5,000 years ago. Cuneiform, okay, 5,000 years ago. It's so this is like the origin of human writing system, the earliest. Is this absolutely the earliest? I think so. Wait, yeah. Okay, so they are etched in stone. I love these. Okay, so these are Unicode, of course, and you got linear B. Linear B is about 2,500 years ago. Okay, linear B, and part of it, linear A, part of it is undeciphered. Okay, like we don't know what it means yet. Okay, that's some of the examples of Unicode. Run. And other interesting things are Shavian alphabet. This is constructed alphabet to fix the English lousy spelling system. So this is a phonetic alphabet for English, created by the very famous writer George Bernard Shaw. Okay, although I don't actually know his work, like I haven't read any of his work. So anyway, it's English phonetic alphabet, envisioned by George Bernard Shaw, but created after he died by his foundation, like by a competition. So anyway, there's that. Then there is Deseret alphabet. That's another phonetic alphabet for English. Now, this is also interesting because in particular, it's associated with the religion Mormons, which has a very colorful history among Christianity in America. That's right, Gandalf. Thank you, Kuba. So you got this Deseret created by Mormons, and which is also phonetic alphabet. So you don't have all the bad spelling, lots of problems in English. So with phonetic alphabet, you pronounce words as it is written. So it becomes much simpler and systematic. Anyway, Deseret alphabet is not too well designed because they got several issues. And anyway, they are not, they died, basically. They never got picked up. And similar is the situation with Shavian. You know, if you search online, you might find some fan clubs, okay? But basically, it's also dead. Nobody is using it. Okay, so these are phonetic alphabet for English. Okay, then we got Tamil, which is part of the Indian language. Okay, so I'm showing you just some interesting things about Unicode. Okay, now let's go back to, I want to talk about, let's do some coding. Okay, let's start to do some coding. Count chars in string. So let me go to my blog, and so if you go to xardi.org, I mean xardi.info, this is xardi.info. You go down, you go to the programming blog, you can see these are the things I've done, like just today and yesterday. Okay, Golang. Okay, I need to fix something there. So open that page, print, search for print. Yeah, that's a mistake. You see that an order list got an extra tag, so that's why you are seeing this kind of thing. Now refresh. Now it's fixed. Now when I show this in browser, it automatically does a validation. You can see HTML, XML valid, and that is done by wait. What? Describe key, press this key, and done by this command, xar_html validate. We wrote this 2 years ago or so, live. So it's fantastic. It validates a file, HTML file, or entire directory. So if I have, for example, p, remove the beginning tag, show in browser, go back, you can see error. Buffer block.html closing tag p at position that does not match last open tag. Okay, position. So you can go to char. It'll jump to that position. You see. So it can also do the entire directory. So let's do that. So the key is press. Which directory? This directory. Do it. There are 1,000 files in that directory. So done validating HTML, XML at directory that no error. Okay, so you can watch that. We coded live about 2 years ago. Just search for validate HTML on my YouTube. Okay, no comments, guys. Comments. Okay, so I've been talking. So this is gonna be long. So I want to start to do some coding. So go to my programming blog and you go down. So So this count chars in string, I want to make some changes, and let me show you why. Okay, let's just go to JavaScript and go to the directory and search count. Search for length. Okay, so let's increase that. So JavaScript string real length. So show in browser. So this is a function to actually return the actual number of Unicode characters in string. Like you might be wondering why is that? So let me show you. So if you have this, you run it, a butterfly. So this butterfly is Unicode, of course. Its name is butterfly, code point 129419. And if you run it, length is 2. That's because JavaScript is like quite fucked up. And this is also true in Java and in C#. You see, so we are starting to talk about programming language design issues of a string. So the reason for that is in, okay, so I have to explain the reason for that, okay? Big fan, thank you guys. Keep the comments coming. I want to learn Linux. Search my website. You have like basic Linux by command line tutorial, xali.info. Search for it, you'll find it, okay? So JavaScript, the reason it is, okay, let me explain that. So let me explain why is the butterfly a single character, but why is the length 2, okay? So you go to my Unicode, and go to the top Unicode search, and here, oh yeah, we were showing, so you can type fire, or you can type WATER, and you can WATER, okay? So you can remove, let's say, remove this CJK. So you can say minus CJK. Okay, what about this parenthesis? Then you can also minus ideograph, minus IDEO. Oh, then you got still some more. Then you got a minus anyway. So anyway, so you can show the character name. You can show the ID. Now each and every Unicode has an ID. Okay, that is the that is a integer. Okay, starting from 0. You can also show the hexadecimal. So that is the hexadecimal of the ID. So the ID, character ID, it's called code point, okay? If you are a programmer, this is critical. Every Unicode character has an ID. It's an integer starting from 0. 0 is actually the null character, okay? So character ID, and character ID is called code point. That's just the way they call it, okay? Code point, just the character ID, okay? Then you can also show, so then you have UTF-8 encoding. You can show that, and you can also show UTF-16 encoding. So every character, what are encoding? Encoding means you want to turn the character into bytes, because programming, everything is 1 and 0. Each 1 and 0 is called 1 bit. 8 of them, like 0000, 0000, or 1111, 1111, or 1010, you know, 8 of them is 8 bits. 8 bits is known as 1 byte, okay? 1 byte is 8 bits, okay? And so that's what computer we deal with, bytes and bits. So character encoding is a way to turn any character, basically convert to map the character ID into bytes. Okay, so there are several character encodings. UTF-8 is the most well-known, and UTF-16 is another very well known, and there are others before Unicode, like Chinese ones. Okay, so here we understand the concept of encoding. So we covered. So let's go down. So there it is. Unicode for programmers. Open that. So you learn about Unicode, character set, encoding, UTF-8, and code point. And basically, you already know about them. Character set is just the set of all characters. Like we talked about, like the linear B, cuneiform, that's a character set. Phoenician character set. Run is character set. Shavan alphabet. Tamil characters. So all of these together is the Unicode character set. Unicode is the character set includes all human, animals, languages, and symbols, including punctuations or numbers or whatever, or even emoji. So that's a Unicode character set. It tries to contain everything, historical or not. Okay, so you got character set, then you got let's go. Where is it? Unicode for programmers. So you understand character set. Okay, then you understand encoding. So character set including math symbols or trademark sign or copyright sign or heart or bullet or punctuation or right arrow or French quote or the linear, the accent characters, So that's all characters in Unicode. Okay. Then what is a character encoding? Encoding is to turn a character into binary bits. Okay. So there are many. There's UTF-8, there's UTF-16, there's GB18030 used in China, and there's EUC used in Japan. There's ASCII. ASCII is like before Unicode. All these are basically all before Unicode. So anyway, in Unicode, it defines a few of them. One of them is UTF-8 and UTF-16. Remember, encoding, okay? This is about encoding, which means turn a character into ones and zeros, binary number, okay? In other words, it's basically turning a integer into 1 and 0 by a map, okay? Because each character is identified by a character ID. So then we talk about character ID, okay? So encoding system, Unicode, okay? Unicode is a standard that created a set of these character set, these definitions, okay? So Unicode character set includes all human languages, past and present, okay? And code point is a character ID, okay? Each character has an ID. So encoding is turning that integer, map that integer into bits, okay? And every Unicode character has a unique name, okay? That's also important. However, a character may have more than one name due to like historical and backward compatibility. So for example, let me show you some example. But one thing for sure is that given a name, it's always a unique character. Okay, so this is known a Unicode character name. But a given character may have more than one name. For example, I can show you. For example, the the form feed. You see this invisible character that represent a new line. Now in Emacs, we call describe character to show this panel. So you can see it's code point 10, hexadecimal is A, and this character in old Unicode standard, Unicode 3, it's called line feed, okay? But the new version, they don't give this character. They don't have a name for this character. So it means this character, the name changed. But however, the line feed always refer to this character, okay? So that's character name. So then, okay, then we need to talk about encoding, okay? ASCII characters. So when we talk about line feed, like these characters, they are part of the ASCII. ASCII is before Unicode. Okay, ASCII character set is basically just 128 of them. This is all, basically that's all the symbols you see on your keyboard. Okay, then so here is ASCII characters, character ID in hexadecimal representation. There's an abbreviation for each one. So 0 is a character known as null. And then you got Unicode symbols to represent the character, null character. Then you have also correct notation and C escape syntax. C escape syntax, that's the worst shit. Okay, so for example, if we go back to the \n, everyone is familiar with in almost every programming language. That's character ID 10, known as line feed \n, as in C string escape. Okay, so that's ASCII. Okay, so what I want to talk about is, so we were ASCII, as I'll go back. So let's talk about, UTF-8 encoding. Okay, so let's talk about UTF encoding. Again, remember it's a map from characters. Each character is mapped to binary digits. Okay, now in UTF-16 encoding, each character is mapped either to 2 bytes or 4, 2 or 4. Okay, so for characters whose character ID is less than 16 bits, then that character's UTF-16 encoding is 2 bytes. Okay, but if the character's ID is more than 16 bits, which is 2 raised to 16, okay, if that ID is more than that, then that character's UTF-16 encoding is 4 bytes. Okay, 1 byte is 1 byte is 8 bits. Okay, am I confusing? Okay, so in summary, in UTF-16 encoding, each character may be 2 bytes or 4. Okay, 2 or 4. So that is when in JavaScript you started to have this idiocy. You see, this butterfly becomes 2. Why? Because the butterfly, if you want to know the character ID. The character ID is this 129 419. In hexadecimal, it's 1F98B. Now, if you compute, is this number bigger than 16 bits? That is 2 raised to 16. It is. We can show it. So this number minus 2 raised to 16. Let's see. Run it. That's Python. So it is indeed bigger. So we can also do it like run it. True. So this character ID is bigger than 16 bits. Therefore, in UTF-16, it has 4 bytes, not 2, 4. But in JavaScript, a string is made up so-called code unit, which is 2 bytes. So it counts bytes. Every 2 byte is 1 index. Okay, so every 2 bytes, 2 bytes, 2 bytes is 1 index. So when you ask for the length of this character, which is 4 bytes, it counts 2 bytes each. Every 2 bytes is called code unit. So it counts like 2. So you got 2. So this is a major fuck up to JavaScript string design. Major. Okay, this also happens in Java and other languages, which I can show you in this this Squawk answer. Okay, this Squawk answer. Which programming language has code unit as its string index? Okay, so it shows you like Java, JavaScript, you see, and C++, C# and others. But however, there's more that does not mean all these languages are bad, just some of them. Because in the case of JavaScript, JavaScript has lots of, let me show you this page. Okay, so let's go to JavaScript. Now you go to, so this all about JavaScript strings. Okay, so you go to JavaScript string.prototype, which is all the string methods. Okay, so you can see, so string.prototype, you got slice, substring, sub-str. They are different because JavaScript sucks very bad. Okay, then you got add, char code add, code point add, very confusing, also very bad because this is they updated with the new function similar with the slice, substring, sub-str. They should be just one but due to baggage, bad design, so they created a new function that kind of meant to improve the old one, so you don't use the old one. So this quite a detail. JavaScript is one of the most complex shit. Okay, so so all these are string methods. Okay, concat string, repeat string, trim start, trim end, start, pad end, and search string, index of, last index of, includes, start with, so on, and regular expression, find and replace or find match, and split string to array and to lowercase and some other minor ones. Okay, so all these are string methods. Okay, now here's the problem. If your string contains a Unicode, let's say emoji, very common today, all these string methods are fucked. Okay, that's how bad it is. There's no way to deal with them. All this will be wrong. I can show you. So let's say I can show you right away. Okay. Let's just start a new Java. Let's go to today's talk show. And let's just start a new JavaScript. Okay, so let's say string ABC. I want to turn it into an array. So string split. So split by empty separator. Okay, that will turn all the characters, each one, into array elements. Okay, and print it. Okay, wait. Okay, run it. There it is, the output. Okay, now prettify the code. Okay, now, but however, if you have a Unicode in it, you're gonna be fucked. Okay, so let's try butterfly. So you got a butterfly there. What is the result? This is the result. Not what are those? Those are not valid character. Those are, remember the butterfly character. The character ID is more than 16 bits. Therefore, in UTF-16 encoding, it has 4 bytes. However, the JavaScript programming language, it considers string as made of units of 2 bytes. So it counts 2 bytes each. So when you do this butterfly becomes 2 different things. This is 2 bytes, this is 2 bytes. And they are not Unicode. They are not like valid. They may not be valid Unicode characters. So you got this like half character. You got fucked. Now this nastiness applies to all JavaScript string methods. Okay, so what can you do if your string happens to have a smiley? A lot of people use that, or math symbols, or Chinese. Some rarely use Chinese characters. Also 4 bytes. Okay, nothing you can do. Basically, you have to write your own method for each one of these string methods. Okay, that's how bad they are. So JavaScript is one of the worst programming language. Now, what about other languages? Okay, so for example, Guac, it tells you, many other languages have this issue. Java, JavaScript, C#, and also Julia Golang. But the question is, in any of these language, if you have a string that contains Unicode emoji or other math symbols, can the language process it? In the case of JavaScript, the answer is no. Basically, you have to write your own method for every of the method. Okay. Now, I don't think there is even a library to do. I mean, like a third-party library who does that. I talked to the JavaScript creator, Brenda Ike. He didn't feel this is like a major problem. So, you know, you can search my blog, you'll find it, you know, my article about that. But what about other languages? Do they have the problem? If your string is like a lot of emojis, does your programming languages, all the string operations, can they work on them? That's a question. So for JavaScript, the answer is no. Okay, very bad. Now for Golang, the answer is absolutely yes. You see, even though Go language, okay, their string, you see, in Go language, when you have this butterfly character, it's considered 4 bytes, okay? So because in Golang, they consider that their string is defined to be a sequence of bytes. Each byte is 8 bits, you know, a sequence of bytes. So when you do length of this, we can try it, okay? So let's put it back, okay? Copy that, and let's do a Golang, okay? Paste it. I haven't coded Golang for a long time, so go, yeah, there's a template. So you want a Golang string, and so there is a string, and let's say length. Now I forgot how to get the length. There it is. Okay, fantastic. And run it. You know, this will return 4. Okay, run it. Len undefined. What? I forgot my Golang. Okay, let's go to Golang tutorial. Let's refresh string. How do you get the length? Raw string literal. So wait, string, what is a string? String is a sequence of bytes. Okay. So I explain in detail, and string functions len. Oh, you don't dot, you know. My brain is corrupted by Java, by JavaScript. Fuck with the dot. Okay, run it. You see 4. You see, so in Golang that is 4. But however, if you want to like process Unicode character, very easy. All you have to do is you turn that into runs. So Golang allows you to turn a string, which is defined as sequence of bytes, into sequence of Unicode characters. In other words, they turn it into a so-called slice of runs, which means it became a dynamic array where each element is a Unicode character. So you can do that by, I don't remember, but I have like I wrote tremendous about it. Print string byte hexadecimal character. Okay, there. Full detailed account about string, byte slice, and run slice. So you want to turn a string into run slice. What you do is there, yeah. So we can do that. So copy, paste. So you say you give a type. This is called casting in these C++ idiotic languages. Casting, like the word does not convey anything. It's like cast a sword. You know, you're making a sword. You shape it into from molten iron to sword. You know, you cast. It's idiotic. So run is a type. Wait, this green run is a type. Basically just means a type of character. Okay, it's a character type. Now you add that square bracket. Again, that's a C idiot's convention. That means this is an array of runs, okay? Okay, so you put that in front, then you just say, delete that link. Then you just say that. So let's say A, B, C, D, E, F. Then you get, let's just say ABC butterfly. Then you just get an array of length 4. Each one is a character, okay? So how do you do this? I haven't coded Golang for a long time. Can you, I think that, and the print X array, actually in Golang, they call it slice, okay? So let's name it. Slice basically is Golang's terminology for dynamic array, just like Python's list or Ruby's list or JavaScript's array, okay? So does that work? I think so, okay? So yeah, I think so. No. Unexpected literal. So do we need, okay, how do you do it? Oh, you need a paren. So you need a paren here. Run it. Fantastic. Okay. So it prints these 4 characters. Okay. I mean, those are the code points. So A has the character ID 97, B is character ID 98, C is 99, and the butterfly is 129419. How do I know? In Emacs, you do describe char. There it is. So you can see the code point. Fantastic and beautiful. Okay, so we explained, so showing browser, we explained this code point, also known as character ID. We explained code unit. I mean, we explained UTF-16 encoding, where each character is either 2 bytes or 4. Then we explained in JavaScript, the string is defined to be a sequence of 2 bytes of UTF-16 encoding. So you got this weird, you got this fuck up, and there's no way to fix it. So every time you need to use some string method, you have to write your own if your string contains emoji, okay? Now, in Golang, their string is defined to be a sequence of bytes, not 2 bytes, okay? Just bytes, not the code unit, whatever, just bytes. So very simple, kind of following from the C convention, bytes, okay? So when you say length of butterfly, you got 4. Because in UTF, by default, actually also, they use UTF-8 encoding, not UTF-16, okay? Now, UTF-8 encoding, we haven't explained, but that's, so each character in UTF-8 encoding can become either 1 byte or 2 or 3 or 4. It's called variable. So depending on the character, it may be 1 byte or 2 or 3 or 4. So we have an article on that, UTF-16 encoding. You can read about UTF-8 encoding. So open that. So UTF-8 encoding. So a character may have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 bytes. That's UTF-8. This encoding system is also co-invented by Rob Pike, the guy who created Golang. Okay, so he's a very talented, very talented guy. But yeah. Okay, so so UTF-6. Let's see, where are we? So UTF-8. Okay, 1 to 4 bytes per character. Now UTF-16 is either 2 bytes or 4, 2 or 4. Okay. So, but now in JavaScript, they define their string to be 2 bytes of UTF-16 encoding, and there's no way to, you got a problem if you got emoji in it, or the method doesn't work. You have to write your own. Okay, in Golang, each string is defined to be sequence of bytes, okay, just 1 byte. So butterfly, you get 4 because in UTF-8 encoding, a butterfly is 4 bytes, okay? But what if you have lots of emoji you want to process? Easy. Turn it into a slice of run, which means dynamic array of Unicode code points, character ID. So that way you can process all the Unicode easily and efficiently, okay? So even though you see, so we talking about string, the design of programming language string. So, you can see, compare JavaScript with Golang, they are very different. One is sequence of code units, like code units. The other one is just bytes. But in Golang, all your string method can still work because they accept the run, byte slice. Okay, so anyway. So, but for other languages, that's, we can look into, I don't know. But for example, C# also have this, just like JavaScript. C# string is just like JavaScript. But the question is, so if any one of you codes C#, tell me. The question is, if you have a string of lots of Unicode, can you actually use all the functions like in C#? Like maybe they have a way to deal with it, or what is it? Okay, very interesting. And also, there's also Go, C, C++, Rust, Python 2. Python 2 is strings are bytes, but in Python 3 they fix it. They become, each character is just Unicode. Okay, so I think that's it for today. And I kind of, actually I have a lot of things I want to do, but we didn't do. But anyway, we explained what's going on. Yeah, we explained, what's going on with the syntax design of strings in different languages and their relation to Unicode, how easy it is to deal with and whatnot. Okay, so if you look at my programming language blog, I have a new article, Programming Language Design, String, Byte versus Code Unit versus Code Point. That is basically what the topic we talked about. So I did some summary there. So we can see of the languages I know, you got Golang. What is a string? You got JavaScript, you got Wolfram language. The string are Unicode characters, okay? Emac, the string are Unicode characters. PowerShell, string are Unicode characters, sequencer. Python 3, string are Unicode characters, okay? Ruby, same thing. Perl, actually, I'm not sure about Perl, I forgot. And F#, strings are also a sequence of Unicode characters, okay? That's that's better. Because string a sequence of bytes, that's basically just Asian, like 50 years ago. Okay, that's it for today. What do you think about Acme editor and Plan 9? I want to start to use it. Okay, Acme, I don't know much about it. There's quite a few videos and introduction of Acme text editor by, for example, I can show you. For example, there's a so go rejects. There's a character kind of who eventually joined Rob Pike to work on Golang. He wrote a famous blog about regular expression speed, the regular expression engine and speed. His name is Rex, I believe Rex something, okay? And turned out he's one of the, I learned, he did some of the social justice warrior stuff, okay? So I didn't like him so much. So regular expression limits, or should you read Master in Regular Expression? This is an old article, like from 2010 or before. I wanted to, anyway, Acme, I don't know much about it. There's quite a few videos, okay? That's Rob Pike's idea, where you should use the mouse all the time and stuff. And Plan 9, I don't know much about it neither, but of course it's like the from Rob Pike and what's the other name? Like Hell or something. That's a continuation of Unix. I don't know much about it. Okay, I think that's it for today. No, JavaScript do not have symbols method. Are you kidding? Are you sure? No, I don't think so. Having the characters be an or type is bad, in my opinion, up there with Markdown's lack of consistent delimiters. What? Okay. Okay, bye guys. $14 views, 14 concurrent viewers. Say hi, guys. Say hi. And donate to me if you have a job, okay? Go to xadi.info. Okay, just go to xadi.info, xadi.info, go to the bottom. Donate me Amazon gift card, Patreon me PayPal. PayPal or Amazon gift card me $100 would be good, nice, if you have a job, okay? Wait, hi. Bye, guys. That's it. So I shut down in 30 seconds, unless you got another question. What browsers are you using? The one where you go page by page looks like Emacs. The one where you go page by page. This browser, what are you talking about? This is Firefox, okay? Now, if you want to know, just search my YouTube. There's one episode I spent like maybe 30 minutes talking about which browser I use, because a lot of people ask me that. Like, why do you use 3 browsers? So this is Chrome, this is Brave, this is a Brave browser, which I recommend the best, okay? And here is Firefox, where I use Firefox for my own web dev. Okay, bye.